Foods. Sally.
Thank you. Oops. All right. This is actually a is that okay? Is that okay? This is actually a relatively simple proposition. It only asks if foods containing genetically modified organisms should be labeled, and it provides for regulation by the Department of Public Health and the right of individuals to sue if they think that the law is not being carried out properly. There are also some exemptions. Foods made from animals which are not genetically engineered but are fed on genetically engineered foods would not have to be labeled. So meat, right. Restaurant food would not have to be labeled, and alcoholic beverages would not. At the present time, 40 to 70% of foods now sold in California contain some genetically modified ingredients, and there's a pretty long history of their being used in something like this volume. And it goes, well, one of the arguments at least says 20 years. At least it's more than a decade. The fiscal effects of this are unknown, but there would be costs to monitor the compliance. This is an initiative statute, and there was a question about, Dorothy mentioned that initiative statutes can be amended. I looked up the conditions under which this could be amended, and it is only by a 2/3 vote in each house and only to further the intent and purpose of the measure. This is actually a rather typical provision. And if you think about it, this probably means that in order to have it changed, it would have to go back to a vote of the people, which is only a 50% vote, as with all these propositions. Arguments in favor are, you have a right to know what's in your food. In Europe and in several other countries, GE foods are now labeled. There have been claims of allergies and other adverse reactions, and long-term effects are unknown. And they claim it costs no more to add GE to labels. Arguments against are genetic engineering is just a faster, more controlled way of doing what has been done by breeding for millennia, which is true, actually. Experience of 2 decades shows that genetically engineered foods are safe. This is the conclusion of the National Academy of Sciences, the American Council on Science and Health, the World Health Organization, U.S. Food and Drug Administration, and American Medical Association. There would be significant cost in administration and likely litigation. And they say that it would lead to higher food costs. And also that genetically engineered crops, at least in some cases, allow less pesticide use. I meant to say earlier, this is related to the question of litigation, that the enforcement, the compliance, I guess is a better way to say it, with the law would be largely up to the grocer, the person from whom you buy the food. And to be sure that that everything that business is selling is properly labeled. The supporters of this include Consumer Watchdog, Pesticide Action Network, I've got a longer list here, Swanton Dairy Farm, Lundberg Family Farms, United Farm Workers, California Certified Organic Farmers, Consumer Federation of America. Okay. That's not a complete list, but it's pretty good. The opponents include California Farm Bureau Federation, the director of the Office of Biotechnology of the FDA, a member of the National Academy of Sciences, California Small Business Association, Monsanto, PepsiCo, California Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse, California Grocers Association. It's actually a fairly varied list. Are there any questions?
This is just for the labeling.
Yes, that's correct. Nobody really knows, how the public will respond to the labels. Probably, variously. Thank you.
Thank you. Brave New World.